Hi, I'm Patrick Delahanty from AnimeCons TV, and I'm here at Kraken Con 2014 again. Didn't I already do Kraken Con 2014? Well, Kraken Con runs twice a year. This is their fall event. This is the second time they've been in the fall. It's their first two-day event. The one they did back in the spring was only one day, and last year their first event over in San Francisco was one day, and now they've expanded to 2 days. It's currently Sunday at the convention, and I've experienced just about the whole weekend. There's still a lot of stuff going on. And my last report back in April, I praised the convention. It's still a great convention. They've expanded to 2 days with very few growing pains, and so I've enjoyed it very much. If you're not familiar with it, if you didn't see my report back in April, Kraken Con is an anime convention that takes place in Oakland, California. It's located at the Oakland Convention Center. It's right downtown. So you've got plenty of options to eat in the area. There's a Burger King a couple blocks away. There's plenty of pubs and restaurants. The more high-end, you're not going to find like a food court sort of thing. The hotel restaurant is not that great. It's very expensive. I had a burger for lunch today, and it was obviously frozen. It was very tasteless, but there's plenty of other options. I just won't go back there. I'll go to some other restaurants. So it's really not a problem to find something to eat. And you can even get Domino's delivered if you want. As far as the hotel, it's a very nice hotel. It's the Marriott, which is attached to the convention center, and actually the Marriott owns this convention center, and so it's all one facility. And so it's great if you're cosplaying. You can just get in costume in your hotel room, take the elevator down, boom, you're at the convention. And because they were worried about room pickup, they arranged with the hotel, and they're offering, at least for this convention, I don't know if they'll do it in the future, if you reserve a hotel room, you get a VIP pass, you get free parking and free Wi-Fi for the weekend. And so the parking alone is a great reason to pick it up, because if I remember right, parking is $25 a day. And so that means 2 days, that's $50. And so for the $119 hotel room, I've almost paid for half of it already. Plus it saves me having to drive back and forth. So there's like half a tank of gas, it's like $30. And so it became a no-brainer. When I knew I was coming, I would have to reserve a hotel room. And the convention has expanded a little. They're still mainly organized around the dealer's hall and the artist alley. There's a lot of events happening within that room, separated by partitions. But they do have some panel rooms upstairs where they're doing some smaller voice actor panels, and they do screenings there in the evening. They have in their main dealer's room what used to be separate rooms last year. There was a separate panel room that was closed off, and now it's opened up, and they put the video games there with. It's not totally enclosed, so you can walk by and see the people playing video games. And that area seems to have expanded a bit. The main event room, which is partitioned off from the rest of the dealer's hall, is so the sound bleed isn't a problem because the partitions are pretty good. But it's bigger than last year's. For the Masquerade, they filled the room, which was a little awkward because they sat people. They let people pick out their own seats rather than assigning row by row and making sure everything was filled. And once most of the seats were taken, except for a few here and there, they asked everybody to move their seats forward and make room for people to stand in the back. So it was a bit odd that people had to move their seats after they were already seated. It was a little bit of chaos. And I don't know if that kind of set the tone for the entire Masquerade, because I mean, it was a great Masquerade, awesome participants, good MC, but the crowd that was watching it, particularly in the back where people were standing, it's probably the loudest audience I've ever heard during a Masquerade. And it's not like, oh yay, everybody's, that's not a good kind of loud. It was, people were talking and being disruptive. And I mean, it's not the con's fault, but it was a weird experience.
My name is Brandon. I don't know if you're, hello. I don't know if you're last week to do this. is Miss Haven, and she is cosplaying Furby.
I will have the entire masquerade or costume contest, forgive me, they call it a costume contest. I'll have it posted on AnimeCons TV and in our extras feed, so check that out, it'll be on YouTube too. And so they've got some voice actors, Caitlin Glass, Nikki Rapp, Matt Mercer, a bunch of other guests, some cosplay guests and effects, makeup, and authors, and so some of them have tables in the dealer's room. Others they're signing autographs in a special area of the dealer's room. Speaking of the dealer's room, last year I had mentioned that they had the theater in there where people could watch anime, and it was, I think I had mentioned how there's kind of some noise bleed because there's no walls separating that from all the noise of the video games and the people shopping, and so they have it again. And if I'm going to make a suggestion, that really needs to move to a room, because although the volume is turned up, it'd be nicer to be able to watch the shows in an actual screening room and not just a corner of the dealer's room. And so it's not a huge complaint, but that's probably my biggest suggestion for the convention for next year, is try to move some of the stuff that's in the dealer's room off. And that would give you a few more spaces for dealers and artists. And at some points it does get a little crowded and hard to walk through some of the areas, so maybe it would help spread stuff out a little bit more. There's also, let's see what else, there's a maid cafe off to the side of the dealer's room. And it was weird when I first walked in this year because everything had moved around, so it's like a lot of the same stuff, but kind of almost mirrored. Like the theater and the main cafe had swapped sides. The autographs moved to a different corner. The video games and main events had swapped sides. So it was kind of like, you know, when you go to a hotel and you're used to your room, and then you go in the room next door and everything's mirrored. It's kind of like that weird, surreal feeling you get when you first walk in. It's like, whoa, this is all backwards. It's not a complaint, it's just that weird feeling. Down this hallway here, right near registration, there's a Conroe. So there's all sorts of local conventions promoting themselves. You get stuff from LA up to Reno. So PMX, SahiCon, Snafu, BabsCon. Now I've started naming them and I'm going to forget some, so I feel really bad. SAC Anime is here, and there's a new one, which I forget the name. They haven't even picked a location yet. But yeah, there's a bunch of cons, and you can register here, get more information. Very friendly people. And let's see, what else is going on at this convention? Registration is here, the main lobby area. This is Sunday. You can see people are still coming in. It's not overcrowded, but there's a good number of people here. It's a good turnout. Lots of costumes, some really good costumes. And let's see, there's info desk on the other side of the main event hall, with his cosplay repair station right near the entrance to the dealer's room, which I usually see cosplay repair stations like off to the side where people can like fix stuff in private. And I know the staff is going to be watching this, like picking apart, like, oh, we did it. No, it's a good con. You guys are doing a good job. But I was shocked to hear there's only 20 people on staff. They need more sleep. I hope they can go get more people staffing this con, because they do a great job. And yeah, if you want to staff a con, even if it's not this one, go out and volunteer. Staffing conventions is such a rewarding experience, and I'm glad to have staffed 1, 2, 3, 4 conventions, I think 5. I don't know, but yeah, it's great fun. And What else about this convention? I know as soon as I turn this off, I'm going to say, I forgot to mention that. Let's see. They have a photo booth where for free you can go up, get a picture of yourself in costume, and they'll post it online. It's a white backdrop, so it looks really nice. I've seen some of the pictures they've taken, and it might not look like much when you're walking by. It's just like, oh, it's just white. No, it looks amazing once they've taken the picture and posted it. So I'm looking forward to checking out some of those after the con. And if you want a whole photo set done, it's only $5. So that's really reasonable. And let's see, think about the other parts of the con. There's, I mentioned the video games. There's a lot of workshops going on, like cosplay workshops and other stuff. And they have some panels and main events. There was an improv called Fully Unscripted, which made me think a lot of mine called Anime Unscripted. It's weird. And so yeah, if you're in the Bay Area, you should be coming to Kraken Con. There's no reason not to. It's really easy to get to. If you're in North Bay or South Bay, it's in East Bay in Oakland, so it's not going to take you that long to get here, and it's not far off the highway. It's right in downtown Oakland, and they haven't announced dates for the spring, but I anticipate it'll be sometime in April-ish, like last year, maybe. Hopefully they announce soon, and I can see if I can come back. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you at Kraken Con. If you have any comments about Kraken Con or any other conventions that you've been going to recently, then call our voicemail line at 762-ADEQUATE, that's 762-233-7828, or email us at podcast@animecons.tv. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're on YouTube or iTunes, we're there. And you can find subscription links on animecons.tv. Just hit the subscribe over on the side. There's a link over in the small side navigation, and it'll give you all the subscription options, not just YouTube and iTunes, but Stitcher and everything else. We have HD, regular video, and just audio, so you can check out all of those feeds. It's the same show. It's just which format do you want? Are you watching on a TV and you want HD, or are you listening in the car and you just want audio? Pick one. They're all there. Or just watch on YouTube. We're there every week, every Monday. And our extras feed is where we post the stuff that's too long for a regular episode, like the Masquerade from Kraken Con, which will be posted this week if it hasn't been posted already. We'll see. Scheduling that is unpredictable. That's the word. And so anyway, thanks for watching AnimeCons TV, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week.